I have seen every single one of this creator's videos, and I had no idea it was, well, you'll see later, but yeah, I had no idea. So it's gonna seem a little inauthentic, but I want to edit this down for only Jack's live. So I'm gonna say a lot of things that I just said again. So I already watched this video. I sent it to everyone in Discord, and I don't think I think there's zero chance that anyone actually watched it. So apparently there is some drama in the South Park YouTuber community, and so this creator Blooms, who I've been quite a fan of, exposes what seems to be an AI content farm. So I already watched this video, so I won't have anything new to say, but I mean, I'll say what I thought as it's happening, while it was happening, if that makes sense. But we're gonna get right into it.
Over the past 2 months, I've been doing some digging. I've spent countless hours searching through old Facebook posts, private courses, and even going undercover to try to put the pieces of this puzzle together. All of this exhaustive research, the hours upon hours spent searching for the missing pieces, all to uncover the truth behind a South Park video essay channel that just felt off. So you all might remember a little video I made almost 2 years ago now called, "Can I make a South Park video essay only using AI?" Well, back when I made that video, the answer was yes, but it would be terrible. Well, a lot has changed in those 2 years. In my silly little video I made testing the limits...
Is he using Sony Vegas to edit? Is that what this is? What editing software is that? That's gotta be Sony Vegas, right? Hold on. Yeah, that totally is. That's crazy. Okay, so there's no reason for this, but normally when you see like a YouTuber's like video editing setup, it'll be like Premiere Pro or something like that. Back in the day, back when I was a kid trying to make it on YouTube before I knew anything, I was like sophomore, junior year of high school, and I was trying to figure out like what video editing software to make YouTube videos with. Oh, I wonder if I have, I'll have to, that'll be a whole different video or stream where I'll show you that. But the Sony Vegas was all the fucking rage to make like MLG super what the fuck am I talking about? Like MLG. Oh yeah, they're just called MLG videos. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why I got so excited about seeing this guy using Sony Vegas, but good for Blooms. It's crazy.
Well, a lot has changed in those 2 years. And my silly little video I made testing the limits of AI has become reality. And during this research, I might have accidentally uncovered a network of thousands of channels doing the exact same thing, lying, deceiving, and manipulating their viewers, all in the name of making a quick buck. And the worst part about all of this is that the vast majority of people aren't able to recognize this deception. In fact, there's a pretty good chance that they may have fooled you at one point. And
before he gets too far, so I was fooled by the creator he brings up. It's Zen time, by the way. I hate that I'm like this, but I love video essays. And the creator, or should I say creators, or lack thereof, that he's going to bring up. So for work, when I'm working, I have like hour-long one-way commutes, and I do a lot of driving. And so like music is cool, but like I don't have like a constant like flow of music in, flow of music out. So I'll put on like YouTube video essays, or if I'm in a real pinch and like nothing seems good, I'll look up Matt Orchard Crime and Psychology, and I'll just watch any one of his videos. He's like JCS but better. And so the creator he brings up, I felt like personally attacked because I have seen every single one of this creator's videos, and I had no idea it was, well, you'll see later, but yeah, I had no idea.
Planning on making this video. I don't like drama or calling people out or any of that stuff, but this was different. This was personal. This is hurting the community that I care so much about, diminishing the work that me and so many others have put into something we're passionate about, and blocking others who share that passion from the success that they deserve. And they're doing this by creating a soulless entity of a machine that is fueled by generative AI, and they are dead set on using this machine to extract every last penny they can from a community that they couldn't care less about. Now, you may not understand why exactly this is such a bad thing, which is why I felt the need to make this video, but I figured it would be best if you didn't just take my word for it. So, I made some calls.
Call in everyone.
I basically assembled the Avengers of YouTubers who overanalyze cartoons. So, let's meet the team. LS Mark, the established, outspoken veteran.
I don't know who hardly any of these people are. He's gonna bring up Johnny Two Cellos, and that's about it.
The analytical, logical thinker. Try to hide any underlying themes in your media, and he'll find them. The Simpsons theory, aka Lydia loves timelines. The deep diving, theory crafting wild card. Underestimate her, and she'll show you why that's a mistake. Slush, the fearless up-and-comer. You may not know his name yet, but you will soon enough. And then there's me, the South Park guy. The one that's like, I guess, one that's like kind of passionate.
He's being humble, but like Blooms makes good video essays about South Park. If you're just now joining, I've edited out all of that part where I was just talking about the other guy. We're back to this video.
No. Whatever, the intros are a work in progress. This team of expert cartoon YouTubers and me have assembled with one goal and one goal only: to save the community from the evil forces of AI content farms by taking out their leader, Karl Artman. Let's do this. But first, let's start from the beginning. Honestly, digging into this has just made my life worse all around, but you know what's actually made my life a lot better? Today's sponsor,
Skip.
Around 2 months ago, I was casually scrolling through my recommended page on YouTube, as I tend to do, when a video caught my attention. The South Park episode about toxic relationships. Oh, interesting. I made a video like that a while ago. I wonder if this person has anything interesting or original to say about the
Cartman looks like you and acts like you too. No.
topic. Maybe some things I missed in my video. Let's check it out. I started the video and immediately thought, man, this editing, scripting, and narrating all seem pretty professional. I'm surprised I've never heard of this channel. I look at the name of the channel, Karl Artman. Okay, well that name kinda sucks. Just move the C from Cartman's last name in front of his first name. I mean, not super original or catchy or really anything good about it, but hey, I'm named after a flower, so who am I to judge? So I look at how many subscribers they have, and I notice they only have like 1,000. Huh. That's weird. Surely they must have been doing this for a long time and just haven't found that much success yet. So I clicked on their channel and their first video was uploaded less than 3 weeks ago. Huh, that's even weirder. And in that time they've uploaded, wait, how many videos? 7? They uploaded 7 20 to 30 minute long analysis videos in 18 days.
Okay, because I watched this guy, Blooms, I was like predisposed to be put into the algorithm where I'm going to get recommended Karl Artman videos. And so the first one I watched, I think, was the South Park episode about bullying. And I had gotten to, I've seen all of these, I'm pretty sure. Actually, can I verify that? Can I verify that, chat? Oh, I guess I've seen a lot less. So so I started with, I guess, the depression one. 1, 2, 3. So I've seen up to 2 months ago, roundabout. No, there's still some sprinkled in here. I have seen like pretty much every single one of this guy's videos. And I remember like going to the channel page because I think he had like 10,000 subscribers when I got to it. And I was like, oh, wow, he's like, this guy's like criminally undersubbed. And then, yeah, I'd only seen that he was like obviously like a South Park YouTuber. So he's only doing South Park stuff. And it was like only a few videos. But like you see like the views these things get, like 191 on the most recent video, 191,000, I mean. On the oldest one, 153. So he gets like hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. So it's like kind of crazy. But I had noticed the same thing Blooms is noticing. Like this guy's just getting like a crazy amount of attention.
That's one video every 2.5 days. It takes me 7 months to upload 7 videos. Granted, that's more because I don't understand basic time management stuff, but even still, if the only thing I did from the time I woke up until the time I go to sleep every single day was working on writing, narrating, editing, and making thumbnails, I might be able to upload a video every 3 to 4 days at the most. And that would be me literally committing every single waking hour of my life to doing that. And those videos would be terrible. So it was immediately obvious.
I have the opposite of a problem. My problem is I mean, you guys, you probably wouldn't know this, but I very much appreciate the community we've been able to build. We're 1,600 strong and dropping. No, like I spend so much of my time during the day thinking about what to make as far as a YouTube video is concerned. And like, I feel like kind of screwed. Because like I feel like you'd have to be like a 2006 era YouTuber to be able to just like make videos about like whatever you want. I try to spend time thinking about videos, but I have no clue what I want to make videos on. I try to make videos on only things that I get excited about. So like the last video, now it's been censored and re-uploaded. Richard, you'll like it because I censored out that word you hate. So, you know, who knows? I really want to make a video about people who get attacked by tigers when they try to pet them, because I don't like it when people try to interact with apex predators as if they're not apex predators. I'm not one of those like let nature do nature things guys. Like if you want to go touch a monkey, like fuck, I don't care. But like if you want to go pet a squirrel, like Rip Peanut, if you want to go domesticate a squirrel or a raccoon, go for it. But like tigers, dude, come on.
Those videos would be terrible. So it was immediately obvious to me that there were multiple people working on this channel, which in itself is suspicious. There's nothing wrong with having multiple people working on a channel. Most YouTubers will begin to outsource work once they're already well established.
Okay, if you want to go touch a monkey, that wording was bad. If you want to go pet a monkey is what I meant to say. That was the intention behind what I just said. Fuck off.
Things like editing and thumbnails. But to start a brand new channel with multiple people who are clearly experienced, this was an immediate red flag. To put it in perspective a little bit, here is a clip from Karl Artman's first video.
South Park has made a lot of iconic episodes, a couple of questionable ones, and 2 that made fans fear that the show was going to get canceled because they were so serious.
And here's a clip from my first video.
That I'm not entirely sure if this concept has an actual name, so go ahead and let me know in the comments if it does, but I like to call it flipping the script. This writing technique is definitely my personal favorite.
And at that point, I had been making videos on and off since I was a child. So was Karl Artman just a literal savant in the South Park video essay niche? I was suspicious, but I decided to keep watching the video. And I quickly realized that my initial impression of high quality content was pretty far from reality. The editing was flashy and eye-catching, but felt generic and soulless. The writing was frankly boring, mostly summarizing episodes with very surface level observational commentary without really saying anything.
This is when Cartman and Heidi start to turn into one of those disgusting couples that wear matching outfits, do everything together and just rub their happiness in.
I need to get myself a black shirt that says Tokens Life Matters and just watch the hysteria that people, it's a whole thing.
Everyone else's faces. It's annoying AF.
They threw a couple of jokes in there occasionally, but it just felt like these jokes were added on top of an existing script. And the narration, I could not put my finger on it, but something was wrong. It was off. The inflections, the emotion, everything. It was just off. It was uncanny, unsettling, maybe even inhuman. It felt like some things were
I will say with Karl Artman's videos, I definitely noticed that he sounded like kind of off and whatnot, but then like so many people who do video essays sound off. Frederick Knudsen, he does Down the Rabbit Hole, and he sound like some people just talk like different. Like Frederick Knudsen, he's got, you know, I like his voice. He does sound kind of just like a little off to me. He just sounds different. But like who's like a prime example of this? Chills just sounds off. He's still pumping out videos. Is he still making like money from this? Hold on, where's like the classic one? This guy also sounds off.
Chills.
Listen.
Number 10, Ghost Jail. A YouTuber named Junked Up Kitten and his friends are exploring an old county jail. They take a video camera with them so that they can make a parody of the Ghost Hunters television series.
Like he just sounds off. You know what I mean? Didn't Chills have a collapsed lung at one point? I think he had some sort of like issue. Have you guys seen his music video?
Number 15. You can catch me on your screen.
Yeah, like he just sounds off. So that's not like a whole thing. That's not a video. People who make video essays or like top 10s, like they just sometimes will just sound off. Forrest Gump, if he wasn't from the South, for real. Did you also randomly get Bloom's videos crammed into your YouTube? No, I've been a Bloom's fan for like a while, and so it wasn't like I'm subscribed to him on my other on my main account. That's not only Jack's. And so here's the thing though. I don't know if you've seen this video, but I am also subscribed to Karl Artman, and I had zero idea any of this drama that Blooms is going to get into, which we'll get back into it right now.
Supposed to be jokes, but it was being read by someone who didn't know it was a joke. And the script had this pattern where they would just have this surface level commentary, then a weird tangent that seems barely related to the topic before returning to the commentary.
Denying them their God-given right to adoration is a sin. And Carmen is about to get diabolical on that little sinner, Heidi.
I was only like 2 minutes into the video and I was so confused. There was no structure, just chunks of commentary glued together by basic jokes. And
here's a big reason why I didn't realize any of the stuff that Blooms is realizing. For the most part, I only watch YouTube when I'm driving longer than like 10 minutes, which is kind of a lot. So what I'll do is I'll put the video on, I'll start moving, right? I've got YouTube Premium, so I can just have it on in the background. So I'll have the YouTube video playing in the background, and then I'll be listening to it, but I'm not listening too closely. So all the stuff Blooms brings out about it not making sense and mispronouncing stuff went completely over my head because I'm not listening very closely. It's just crazy stuff.
this happened.
However, about 6 months in, your fantasies start colliding with reality and the halo starts to fade. So you realize that your girlfriend is not quite the perfect angel you had in your head. For starters, she never shuts up. She just wants to talk and talk and talk and talk.
Based.
Talk and talk. It's not so bad when you're with her because you can always shut her up by putting something in her mouth.
Huh?
Based.
But when
That's
you're
based.
apart and you're on the second hour of a FaceTime call, listening to her tell a pointless story about a hairdresser who cuts 2 inches off of her friend's hair instead of 1 inch, you just want to...
Guys, Sarek Artman is based. There's no way he's AI, okay? This is based. This is all women are exactly like how Sarek Artman is describing them right now, okay? All women are the same. All women are two-dimensional, okay? That's why we write them like that in movies and television shows, because there's not a thought going on behind their eyes, okay? You heard it here. Only Jax says that all women are exactly the same. They all do everything Sarek Artman is saying. And, yeah, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm just based. I'm just based like that, okay? I'm based. Sarek Artman is also based.
want to yell at her to shut up.
What'd he say?
So you pretend to listen because you don't want to hurt her feelings. You probably sit
Gay son or thought daughter. Oh, dude.
there and keep toggling the Wi-Fi on and off and on and off over and over again just to make the call buffer, and then blame it on her having a poor network connection. She wants 4...
Dude, that's like actual psycho though. Like, you're gay. Girls like to talk on the phone with their boyfriends. And if you can't handle that, you might just be into dudes. Because I've never done a 2-hour FaceTime call that I wanted to start. I've never known another guy to do it. So you might just be gay, bro. Sarek Artman. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Embrace it.
foreplay. She wants you to be romantic. Take her out more. Call her more. Blah, 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 blah.
What the fuck was that? Was that supposed to be a joke? Why did we just spend nearly 3 minutes of the video talking about this dude's hatred for his girlfriend? If it was a joke, it was certainly hard to tell considering the narrator sounds like an alien attempting to mimic human emotion the entire time. Nothing in his voice made it sound like he was joking or being sarcastic, so if he was, he certainly needs to work on it.
Blooms, chill out. We've already established it. Sarek Artman is a gay man from Kenya. There's just get off his ass. We've already established it.
His delivery. And I don't need to point out how, if this isn't a joke, it essentially invalidates anything this guy has to say about Cartman being a narcissist, considering he doesn't realize that his own behavior could be used in the DSM-5 as an example of narcissistic behaviors.
Now, unlike me, Cartman is a psychopathic, narcissistic monster demon spawn.
I'm barely even a third of the way through this video, and I am so confused at this point. So many
Better thought experiment. Do you believe that the human free will exists and can coexist with a deterministic universe where you can tell the future based on the past because everything is in the chain of all events? I believe in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I don't know how that trumps the thought experiment or not. Original sin kind of predicts free will, does it not?
many things just didn't add up about all of this, and I couldn't get over that narrator. Why did he sound like that? Why was he constantly mispronouncing easy words, almost like he was reading a typo exactly?
That rackles Cartman to no end. I had my barber empathize my hairline every time I got a haircut.
How could he be so clueless?
Yeah, see, all this stuff went right over my head when I was listening to all this, because again, I wasn't paying attention very closely because it's manja media for me. Like, this is like Bloom's had to be sitting at his computer, like eyes glued to the screen, like actually paying attention to this stuff, because all this would have gone right over my head.
He doesn't even know how to make the jokes correctly. In another video, he literally made a joke about Compound V from The Boys, but this is how he read it.
Before he drank Compound 5 and got jacked.
At first, I didn't even understand how you make this mistake, but then I realized that they were reading it as if it were the Roman numeral V, like Compound 5. So I decided to watch more of their videos, and all of them had these same small issues. At first glance, the videos were totally fine, yet if you really listen and think about what they're saying, it's wrong. All these weird issues made it obvious to me that the person reading this script is obviously not the person writing the script. At the very least, they hired someone to read the script and gave them absolutely no context about what they were reading or any of the jokes, and they are just totally clueless on everything, or something even more nefarious is going on, something inhuman. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And the craziest part about this was all the comments were totally positive. I didn't see a single comment pointing.
There's like a 95% chance that one of my comments shows up on screen, because I had to have said it, because I'm not like an avid commenter, but when I find like newer channels and once I discover that they're new, I always try to like leave a comment. It won't be from Only Jack, so don't bother. I cannot believe I got hosed. Do I think analog horror is scary? Yeah, if it's done right. Like the Mandela catalog is super scary. Gemini Home Entertainment is super scary. The Walton Files is kind of weird. Like those are all pretty good.
Out anything that I've pointed out. Everyone was just talking about how they're an underrated channel. I couldn't find anyone criticizing them at all. I felt like I was losing my mind. How am I the only one that recognizes all this weird stuff going on? I have a bad feeling about this, and I really need to figure out what the hell is going on with this channel. I immediately had my suspicions as to what exactly they were doing, but I needed some proof. I needed to get to the bottom of this. So I started digging.
Okay, sometimes like when I'm like, I haven't made very many videos, but when I'm like editing my videos or like putting them together, I get like a little insecure that I'm like recycling the same like 4 or 5 YouTube audio library tracks. But because like those are ones that I like and they just tend to fit with like me. But then I'm like, I'm reminded of people like Blooms, who's the same 4 songs in every one of their videos. So it's like dun 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 dum 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 here
in Hollywood at that.
Religion. And if you're a new player or you haven't played in over 6 decorator, so that's why a million play.
You hear it, and then you hear. Yeah.
The first thing I noticed is the thumbnails and titles of their first videos. If you watch channels like mine, these are probably familiar to you. That's because these thumbnails and titles are direct copies of 3 videos made by Made to Express, another YouTuber. Now, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking inspiration from people's thumbnails or titles. I've done it before. Every YouTuber does it to some degree. I've even been inspired by this exact thumbnail and title before. But the difference is, mine is inspired, but not copied. I used aspects of his titles and thumbnails, but I still made it my own. And because I thought that even still this might be too similar, I even credited Made to Express in the description, and he didn't seem to mind. This, on the other hand, this is not inspiration. This is stealing. I mean, just look at them. If you saw these 2 videos side by side, there'd be no way to tell which is which. What this tells me is that, from the beginning, they don't seem to be the most ethical content creators. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but
I will say, I'm gonna agree with pretty much everything Bloom says in this video, but I'm maybe like when he's writing this with like 2020 hindsight, you know, but a lot of what he's saying is like making a stretch. Like, I don't know, thumbnail copying, I wouldn't put that as like unethical. I'd say lazy and stupid, but I wouldn't say that's unethical. But then the more he talks about this scenario, the more he talks about this, the accused, the more unethical stuff starts to seem.
It's certainly not a great look. So I thought maybe I could get in contact with them, explain to them that this isn't cool, and get them to explain all the other weird stuff that I've noticed in their videos. So I checked the description. Nothing. So I checked their channel bio. Nothing. Another red flag. This seemingly professionally run YouTube channel has absolutely no social media links or contact besides a business email. Weird. Well, looks like I'm not getting in contact with them. But now I knew that they were willing to steal other people's titles and thumbnails, so I thought, what else are they not being so honest about? I go back to the description and noticed how formulaic it seems. Almost reminds me of how I would write my discussion posts in college. Wait. I copy and pasted some of the descriptions into an AI detector and, yep, 100% AI generated. So they use ChatGPT to write their descriptions. Again, on its own, this isn't the worst thing in the world, but considering how blatantly they were willing to use generative AI, it continues to solidify this pattern of not so ethical behavior.
And this is the problem with modern ChatGPT. Like, like if you're reading it with your eyes, it's obviously AI. But when you're hearing it by someone or something that sounds human enough, like, it's freaking convincing, man. And that's what you get with these YouTube like AI content farms. There was like a scenario, I forget, it was like I forget what the video was about, but I was watching like a 30-minute long video, and it was like 5 minutes in where I'm like, this like sounds kind of like AI. Because again, like, I have autoplay on in my car, so as I'm driving around listening, like, I like kind of snapped into it. I'm like, this just sounds like off. And yeah, the whole thing was written by AI and voiced by AI. And I'm like, well, who's doing the video editing? Well, probably some, like, I know CapCut you can give CapCut a script and it'll make a whole video for you. So like, I don't know if this is what Sarek Artman is doing, but I would imagine something similar.
I tried to do the same with their scripts, which I speculated were also at least partially written by ChatGPT, but I couldn't get anything conclusive, so I moved.
I keep thinking every time he cuts to Sarek Artman's channel, he doesn't like have like the video playing full screen. It's like the YouTube UI. And I keep thinking that I haven't like maximized the video. It's like really driving me nuts.
Move to Google. I start simple. I type in Karl Artman with quotes around it to make sure all the results have that name exactly. I scroll for a while, not really getting any information, until I stumble across this Facebook post that was made in a video editors group on Facebook. Urgently, need a professional video editor who can create animation videos like this. This same post was actually made in several Facebook groups.
Yo, what font is that? That's how you know you're using a fucking like ghetto ass Android phone. What font? Like, how do you get that font onto your phone? And only H's and K's? What about R's? The R's do that? I guess you can't see. His face looks like a clicker from The Last of Us. I never played. I hope you're not talking about me. That sounds ugly. That sounds ugly. You know how insecure I am about looking like a clicker. Like a freaking clicker.
A couple different video editing groups, one called YouTube Cash Cows and one called Pakistani Video Editors Hire. I wondered if the person making these posts was the...
Those video editors get paid like nothing per video. And you're talking about Blooms? Okay. It looks like that thing from Stranger Things. But yeah, these like Pakistani video editors don't get paid shit.
Owner of the Karl Artman channel. If he was, maybe I could find out more about their operation. So I began searching through his Facebook page, and I noticed he claims to be the co-founder of a company. So I look up this company and I end up on their website. The company claims to be a software development partner, and as I click through their website, I notice their generative AI package. They give some examples of things you could do with it, and the first one is most interesting to me. AI-driven content creation? I look through the site's about page where they list all of their employees, and I noticed that all of them are either from India or Pakistan.
When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India. Strong army, whoa!
That whole video is crazy. I don't know why Pakistan hates India so much, but like these kids, man. Oh, these kids are so funny. I'm glad that he puts that caption in. Sorry, this is one of my favorite videos ever, and I finally have a reason to use it in a video. Hell yeah. My mom got mad when I said the singer for Kansas looks like a Wookiee because apparently that's how kids bullied her in middle school. Your mom looked like a Wookiee? Sorry, Mom. My mom's dead, so...
Well, that explains the posts made in the Pakistani Facebook groups, and the fact that some of the posts claimed he was looking for only Pakistani video editors. In fact, it seems like almost all of the hundreds of thousands of people in these Facebook groups are Indian or Pakistani. Huh.
My pledge is to help people who need for like people money and all this.
He's going to help the people in Pakistan. Great.
So I spent a few hours digging
So
through
good.
all of their LinkedIn pages and trying to find any
Rest in peace, only Mom. Thanks for that.
connections, but the most I could find is one of the co-founders has YouTube creator in their list of jobs on LinkedIn. I didn't get anything conclusive, but as I did one last scan of their website, I noticed a link for a Discord server. Obviously, I couldn't join on my main account, or that could be pretty suspicious, and if I wanted to talk to the person that made the post, he seemed only interested in Pakistani people, so I had to go undercover. The name I came up with, Stan Marsh. It looked Pakistani enough for me.
No, that's great. Hold on.
The name I came up with, Stan
Stahan Marash. That's actually really funny.
Marsh. It looked Pakistani enough, but most of the channels were blocked. The server was literally just me and the employees, and as I searched through it, most of the channels were blocked. I was able to find 2 flyers though, one advertising their generative AI and chatbots, and another advertising their graphic design services, which specifically included YouTube thumbnails as one of their examples. I tried to message the dude that made the Facebook posts initially to act like I was interested in the job, but they never got back to me, which I gotta admit kinda offended me a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure my resume is a little better than most of their editors. But after that, that was it. That was all the info I could gather about this company. I hit a dead end. Was this actually the person who ran the Karl Artman channel, or was this someone just trying to imitate them? I couldn't be certain. However, it was strange that this dude who runs a software engineering company is making posts looking for editors to work on cartoon analysis YouTube videos, and it's kind of coincidental that they seem to have a specialty in generative AI considering my theories. But regardless,
what an actual hack to YouTube though, because he goes into later about like well, South Park YouTubers is like the whole niche. Like you'll notice Bloom's, like every single one of his videos is about South Park, and he's got how many videos? Just tell me. 67 videos, right? And they're all about South Park, and they all do, like, I would say decently well. Like this one's got 1.2 million, 2 million views. His videos do well. Right? And they're all about South Park, but like what an actual like stupid hack. Like think about it, right? You have AI that like I don't think it has the most up-to-date information, but it has you have ChatGPT, which can make like a decently long script about pretty much anything, right? But like in order to not get caught, like think about it, like you can't make like a variety channel from ChatGPT without it obviously being like there's no way one person could write this in depth about so much shit. So instead, you look at like the niche channels, right? Like especially like the niche ones about like cartoons, which have aired and like people have written reviews about them. Like there's already so much like peripheral information about all this stuff. And then you tell ChatGPT, hey, make me a script about this. And like with South Park, there's like 26, 27 seasons, I think. And then all their specials, like that's such a hack. That's such a cash cow hack. You can make at least one YouTube video per episode of South Park. So like, let's look at this. Hold on. 328 episodes. You can do at least 328 YouTube videos about South Park, all using ChatGPT. Like what an actual hack, man. Like I'm not saying it's a good practice. I think YouTube should have should I don't know, should instate some sort of like protection so people can't just like do this, because I think it's bad for YouTube. I think it's bad for the art. I guess there's nothing very artistic. Well, like my videos aren't artistic, but like the art of making a YouTube video, like to protect that, I feel like YouTube should instate something to protect them. But it's overall not great for anyone involved. It's not great for YouTube. It's not great for creators. But like the first guy to think of that, like what a genius. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite idea? Mine is getting creative. I feel like that's a don't touch me, I'm scared reference. You should do a video about brain rot, aka Skibbity Toilet and Riz. No, just because I would have to subject myself to so much brain rot. I couldn't like be like engaging.
that was it. There was nothing else for me to find. I was stumped. I never found any concrete evidence that this channel is tied to the company, and I also never really found any significant proof that Karl Artman was doing anything wrong, besides maybe copying thumbnails. So, I gave up. There was nothing I could do. I just had to live with the fact that Karl Artman's gonna exist and continue to get more and more popular, despite knowing deep down that something was wrong. And I just could not get over the narrator. What were they doing? Why did the narration sound like that? It was so weird, but there was nothing I could do. So, I gave up. For exactly one day, because the very next day, I got this DM on Twitter. Can I edit South Park videos for you? Here is my recent edit. Oh my god. This is exactly what I was looking for. I thought there was no way I'd ever get in contact with these people, and yet here they are on my doorstep reaching out to me. So I thought about it for a few days and decided I can't let this opportunity pass me by. I'd consider it. If you don't mind me asking, do you make these videos yourself or just edit them? And if not, do you know who writes and narrates them? Now, obviously, I had no intentions of actually hiring this person, considering how much I dislike that editing style they use, but I knew the only way they would give me any information is if I acted interested. And it worked. I only edit them. The one who writes the script is someone else from the team. So immediately we get confirmation of what we already knew pretty much, and that's that this is a team of people working together. Now, honestly, just having proof that this is a team of people working on this channel is enough proof to me to say that this is a pretty scummy thing to do. If you watch any of their videos, the narrator is always talking in the first person. Same with any comments he makes on the videos or any community posts he makes. It's always, I am doing this, or I never.
Yeah, I really hate this whole like YouTuber like by committee type thing, like appearing as if you're just one guy when secretly like there's an actual like team of people behind it. Like one person's responsible for answering comments, one person's responsible for writing, one person's responsible for being the face of it all. Like lots of YouTubers have teams of people to do stuff. Like Turkey Tom's got people who work for him. Oompaville's got people who work for him. I don't know. I don't think Blooms does. I don't think he's like at that level, and like Technology Connections, like he doesn't have one, but like a lot of like YouTubers who are like at some point I will have people, hopefully if I get big enough, like, you know, do like research and stuff for like my videos. Like Mr. Beast, the perfect example. He tried to get zesty with you. I don't believe that. Or maybe, I don't know. I didn't watch the whole 4-hour fucking interview that he did. But like then trying to appear as if you're just like one guy, yeah, speaking only in the first person, that is kind of scummy. I feel like it's a whole thing.
Never would have known. It's never the team or we. Even the bio of the channel said
Have a great night, Richard.
Posting weekly South Park videos or any community posts he makes. It's always, I am doing this, or I never would have known. It's never the team or we. Even the bio of the channel said posting weekly South Park video essays where I go over topics and how South Park has handled them. Clearly the people running this channel want it to seem like it's one person. Like this is just a dude that likes South Park and is making videos about it. They're going out of their way to hide the fact that this is actually a team of people working on this. Now again, I have no issue with a team of people working on a YouTube channel. The issue is that they're lying about it. This isn't just some dude that's uploading his South Park videos from his dorm room. This is a full-blown professionally done operation. And this professional operation cosplaying as some dude that makes South Park videos in order to avoid the stigma that comes with being a content farm, that's pretty fucked up. But I still had so many unanswered questions.
That is like so smart though. Like all of the whole like pretending to be one person is just to distract from the fact that they are an AI content farm. Guys, I don't know if you've tried the Dr. Pepper Zero. It's like strawberries and cream flavor. It's fucking delicious. I just got that all over my computer screen. But it's delicious. It's delicious. Highly recommend.
I wanted to find out exactly what was going on, and I wanted to prove that there was something weird about that narrator. So I asked the editor, okay, then who writes the scripts? He's a guy from Kenya. Huh? Kenya?
What a twist.
I was definitely not expecting that. So I think it's safe to say that the script writer is not the same person as the narrator. I mean, maybe I'm being stereotypical, but that doesn't really sound like what I would expect someone from Kenya to sound like. And by looking at the editor's Twitter page, it was obvious that he was Indian, so clearly he's not doing the narration either. So I need to know who is doing the narration. I know it seems like I'm kind of caught up on this, but I'm telling you, this was the thing that was driving me the most insane out of all of this. But after that absolute bombshell, I knew I needed to play it cool to keep this guy talking to me. So I give a long-winded response, pretty much glazing the editor and the channel, and I end it by asking for more information about this team that he claims to be a part of. This was the response I got. Yeah, the team runs multiple channels, so they are experienced. We are like 3 editors for one single 20-minute video. I'm the guy who edits the first 6 to 10 minutes of the video because intro part matters. Okay. Another absolute bombshell. Now, obviously, I had my suspicions that this content farm probably spanned over multiple channels, but to have it just confirmed outright to me like that was shocking, to say the least. So now we know for certain that this team consists of at least 4 members, 3 editors, and 1 writer. Plus, there has to be a narrator somewhere because obviously no one that we've talked to so far is doing the narration. So I took a moment to think about it, and when I did, I realized something else. You're telling me that a team of 4 people is capable of completing a 20 to 30 minute 2-minute video essay and uploading it every 2 days, and apparently running several other channels at the same time. This is straight up impossible, and it further solidified my theories that they are clearly using some kind of AI technology.
What I want to know is, how do you write that prompt? And not because I'm trying to have AI write anything for me. That would be not cool. That would be not cool if I did that. But I am curious, like, what kind of prompts do you have to give the AI to get video, like, scripts? Like, I don't know. Because, like, watching Sarah Gartman stuff, he has, like, or they, I should say, have, like, human sounding parts and like jokes that kind of carry through one to the next video. Like, how do they do that? What are the prompts you're giving ChatGPT to do that? Or how much of it are you like putting in yourself? I don't know. Maybe I should just get good at writing prompts is what I should do.
To help with this. The editor continued and said that he doesn't know much insider stuff because he only joined it a month ago. He ended this response by saying that I am their competitor and that they are heavily inspired by me. Oh, really? Oh, really? The Karl Gartman channel, it's really inspired by me. No way. No, it's not. Really? Karl Gartman, inspired by my videos. No. So I respond in a similar manner, asking if they have a name for their group or if they work for a company or what. And he responds by saying that he doesn't know, he never looked into it, and he just joined a Facebook group one day called Karl Gartman. Something tells me that he might just be playing dumb and he does in fact know if he works for a company or not. But for whatever reason, he is hesitant to share that information. After that, I ended up chatting with him a little bit about YouTube just to keep the rapport going. I didn't really get any more information, but at this point, I was fully back into this investigation. And coincidentally, not too long after this, the YouTubers Slush and LS Mark happened to drop their videos about the white thumbnail channels. If you haven't seen those videos, I highly recommend you go watch them, but the shortened version is that YouTube has become infested with these channels that all have the exact same thumbnails for their videos and are basically just AI generated content farms where they're pushing out these videos that are basically just summarizing episodes of cartoons. It's super lazy, and more of these channels were popping up every day for different shows. And this is something that I had known about already, but what I realized is that this all sounds kind of familiar. In fact, this sounds a lot like what I speculate the Karl Gartman channel to be doing. But the difference is these white thumbnail channels were easy to call out because it was very obvious that these are all just AI generated slop. The Karl Gartman channel, on the other hand, did seem to put in more effort to concealing the fact that they were using AI, specifically in the scripting, since it seemed like they had a writer that would take the AI written script and piece it together to make it more human-like and add the jokes. Whereas these white channels seemed to just read directly from a ChatGPT script. But it was incredibly validating after researching this for so long to see that someone else is recognizing the similar patterns. But even following these videos being released, no one was calling out Karl Gartman specifically. So I decided to leave a comment on Mark and Slush's video.
What was I say? I was literally just talking to another YouTuber about a South Park video essay channel that has been getting a bunch of views lately and seems to be using AI to at least partially write their scripts. I got in contact with one of their editors and learned that these types of channels have entire teams of people from all over the world working on them that run multiple channels all doing the same thing. This is a huge rabbit hole. It's why I appreciate channels like yours with actual humans who are passionate about what they're doing. I've seen, who's that? Like, I forget the creator he just had on the screen, but I've seen that guy's videos at some point. They're pretty good.
Videos basically saying that this rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than they even think it does, as there's channels that they might not even realize are AI generated. Now, the day before, I had been DMing with Johnny Two Cellos, and I actually mentioned this situation to him. I sent him basically all of the evidence I had gathered up to that point about Karl Gartman, and his opinion was nearly identical to mine, that it seemed like these scripts were AI generated and then they had a person go through and edit them. But I had also mentioned to Johnny my theory that I've been hinting at this whole video, and this theory is that—
Good night, have a good sleep.
But I had also mentioned to Johnny my theory that I've been hinting at this whole video, and this theory is that the narrator for this channel is in fact not a real person and is just an AI tool that does text-to-speech. Now, Johnny didn't necessarily agree with me on this. He thought it was a real narrator, and that is the case with pretty much everyone that I talked to about this. But I am telling you, as someone who has listened to more Karl Gartman videos at this point than probably anyone else in the world, this is an AI narrator. It might just be one of the best AI text-to-speech voices I have ever heard, and they make it even more convincing by adding fake pauses, fake ums and uhs during the narration, but I'm telling you, it's AI.
Well, AI has gotten pretty freaking good. I mean, hold on. After the Trump assassination attempt, like, I watched this whole 12-hour video, but like, people like trolled, not trolled, but like, oh yeah, try to like gaslight Destiny into like thinking I forget what they were like gaslighting him to like with but like look, like this video here is made by AI.
Somebody links a YouTube video of this guy.
My name is Egon Chalakian. I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on the intelligence.
Like, wasn't that like AI? Like, did someone made that whole thing with AI, right?
Component of national security.
This is a 3.5 hour video, okay? With a couple of sometimes strange audio glitches.
Right? Hold on. No, I'm in on this schizo work. Hold on. The videos Egon on his channel are definitely real, not AI generated. I can't speak to this other media, but doing the deep analysis of the content, I will say, well, certainly this dude is just recording himself. Okay, so Aegon's real. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought he was AI. Anyway, AI can get pretty good. Is all I'm trying to say.
You know, you get the puppy love stage. You just can't really get the girl otherwise.
But we'll talk more about that later.
Wait.
So at this point, but I'm telling
you. Do you hear that?
It's AI.
You know, you get the puppy love stage. You just can't really get the girl.
It's AI.
You know, you get the puppy love stage.
I'm telling you.
That's like too perfect of an I hear it. That's AI.
It's AI.
You know, you get the puppy love stage. You just can't really get the girl otherwise.
But we'll talk more about that later. So at this point, Slush reached out to me on Discord about the comment I left on his video. He already had my Discord because he reached out to me after I had a temper tantrum in the comment section of his Pip video after he made a joke about me. I was being very sensitive and it's incredibly embarrassing looking back on it. But we're cool now, and I gave him all the information I had about this Karl Artman stuff. And with that, I had 2 new recruits into this investigation. Immediately after joining, Slush...
I love it when YouTubers work together on shit. One day I want to be part of a collab.
Then asked me if I had looked at Karl Artman's community page. It hadn't even occurred to me, so when I went and looked, I was shocked by what I found. This is a very long post, so I'm just going to summarize the important parts. He makes a joke about being canceled. Again, all of the language used in this is very specifically designed to make it look like he's just one person, but he talks about how he uploaded a video called "Every Time Eric Cartman Deserved to Go to Jail," which then received a copyright strike, causing them to push it back. He even supplies us with proof of the fact that the video was done before Tuesday with a frame.io link. Now, basically, the reason he's specifying the day is because he claims he's being accused of copying another YouTuber. He also mentions that he really enjoys watching another creator called Sweaty Clam. Now, if you had watched those white thumbnail videos we're talking about, you would recognize that name immediately, because Sweaty Clam was one of these white thumbnail channels and was very clearly using AI. So the fact that Karl Artman follows it up by saying he was making really quality content and he really recommends that everyone watches it is a little weird. And the fact that he was very clearly trying to create one of these white thumbnail videos is also really suspicious. So then he goes on to basically throw a pity party for himself, complaining about all the mean comments, saying that he was fearing for his safety and that he was getting messages directly targeting him, which obviously isn't true considering he's not one person, he's multiple people, and if it's the writer that's writing this, which is of course what I suspect, he lives in Kenya, so I don't think he has much to worry about. And my favorite part of this post is when he says, "So yeah, I let them get the better of me and took my video offline. Congratulations." He also talks about his motivation for becoming a content creator and how it's to provide fun entertainment. Yeah, I'm sure. But honestly, I think the funniest part of all of this is the fact that obviously he's trying to appear as one person, but he was so focused on proving that he wasn't copying this dude that he uploaded the entire video to frame.io.
This part in the video, man, why, like, Blooms is going to say in just a second, why are you uploading it to frame.io if you're just one person? And like, correct. Frame.io, the only reason you're using it is to collaborate with people. And so throws off this whole like persona of like, oh, I'm just one guy. Like, no, you're using Frame.io, which is like legitimately only used for people to collab on stuff together. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think there's another use for Frame.io. Like, I don't think it does cloud service to like you edit on multiple devices. I don't think that's what it's for. But yeah, this unforced error from Karl Artman. After I finish my EE, a 4,000-word essay on any topic of my choice, should I make it into a video essay? The topic question is, to what extent does religion reflect political power structures in Dune by Frank Herbert? Well, the Bene Gesserit are behind every major decision that happens as far as the fate of Arrakis and you know, the three houses. They're the puppet they're the puppet master controlling those strings. So the easy answer is all things go through the Bene Gesserit. The Bene Gesserit. I think I'm saying it right. So that's cool. You should fucking do that. I would watch that. I haven't read Dune. I have a copy of it here at my house. I've watched both movies and the original movie. I'm really excited for the third one. You should do that. That would be sick.
Before it went live. But literally the entire purpose of Frame.io is team collaboration on projects. So if you were really just one dude making videos, you would have literally no reason to have uploaded the video there. This whole thing was incredibly dumb, but the biggest piece of information for our purposes was the fact that he was trying to create one of these white thumbnail channels, essentially. So that's a bit more like circumstantial evidence to say that they're probably using AI, because all of those channels are. It was around this time that I was scrolling through my YouTube recommended page, which I tend to do, when something caught my eye.
Somer
Himson. You know, that's kind of the same naming scheme as Carrick Artman. And you know what else? These thumbnails are exactly like Carrick Artman's. In fact, the whole video is exactly like Carrick Artman's. The narration, the editing, it even has the same disclaimers in the description. So obviously, I figured this was the same people that made the Carrick Artman channel. But as always, I wanted to have some proof. And the very first thing I noticed was on Carrick Artman's newest video at the time, there was a pinned comment in which he discusses how this week there will only be 2 uploads instead of the usual 3. I go and look at when the Somer Himson video was uploaded, and it just so happens it was uploaded on the exact same day that this post was made.
Brutal.
What a coincidence that right as the other channel begins to upload, the Carrick Artman channel reduces their amount of uploads. Almost as if adding this channel means that they now have to split their attention between 2 channels. And if that wasn't enough proof for you that these are definitely owned by the same people, I did some digging into the editor's Twitter to see if I could find any connections, and I noticed he tends to interact with a small circle of Indian and Pakistani editors. So I was looking through the pages of all the people he interacts with the most, and one of the ones he interacts with more than anyone else just so happened to have this tweet pinned on their account. If there's one thing I've learned about these Indian and Pakistani editors on Twitter,
they grew from only, what does it say? They grew from only 60 to 560 subscribers in only 3 days. I did that. So eat shit. I did that, and all I had to do was talk about people who like to do the dirty with animals. Oh God, I hate fucking zoophiles, man. Maybe that I should do another video on that. Oh, I hate those people so much.
Have this tweet pinned on their account. If there's one thing I've learned about these Indian and Pakistani editors on Twitter, they cannot help but flex their views. Even when they are clearly supposed to be secretly working for a channel, like they can't tell anyone the name if they ask for it, they still gotta post whenever something does well. And it definitely made this investigation a little easier.
My pledge is to, when I will grow up, I will help the poor people by giving their homes, by giving them homes.
Inshallah, he is going to give homes to everyone.
To me, this pretty much proves that it's the same
good.
people. So after this, I began to notice more and more of these channels popping up. They were all exactly the same. Same thumbnails, same narration style, same editing style, same disclaimers in the description,
Greater
and a
Piffin.
character animated in the same style as the show. At this point, we knew these were all connected, but we didn't really have any ways to get any new information. So I decided to try my luck with the editor again and see if I could get anything else out of him. Hey man, are you still looking to work on South Park vids? Sure, what will I be doing? Please tell me more. Well, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I was thinking about having you edit some smaller videos for my second channel. Do you still work for the Carrick Artman channel by chance? Yup. Is there any issue for? I think he meant, is there any issue with me working for the channel? Well, I'm not certain about anything yet. I just had some ideas for some more casual stuff where I talk about South Park. I've never really hired an editor before, so I'm not sure what pay would be. If you don't mind me asking, how much does Carrick Artman give you, just so I have an idea? Funny enough, this is actually kind of true. I've only hired an editor twice. It was my boy Octopox. He edited the video where I read fan fiction, and he also edited one of the videos on my second channel where I react to a South Park analog horror series. It's actually pretty funny. I recommend you check it out. I then asked about the channel. I said, I know you don't know much about the people that run it, but what was the hiring process like for you? Did you apply for it, or did they reach out to you, and how did...
Okay, so him asking how much Carrick Artman pays to like do the editing stuff, like that's like a normal thing like people would ask before bringing someone on. But like this stuff, like this is psycho. No issue. I just had some questions about the channel itself. I know you don't know much about the people who run it, but what was the hiring process like for you? Like asking all these like in-depth questions, like he's not a very good PI. or undercover, I should say. Like this is psycho.
How did you find them? I also asked if it would be possible for me to talk to the person that writes for the channel. So he responds, that guy is from Kenya, and I talked to him about your proposal, and he felt flattered and told me that he is loyal to the team and he does not want to waste your time. Though if you do still insist and want to try yourself, I'll give you his Discord ID. And for my question about how he was hired, he totally dodges that by saying, look, just hire me and I'll hire all the editors you need, no big deal. So he completely ignored that question. So shockingly, he actually gives me the writer's Discord ID, which I did not expect. And he lets me know that he told him that I'm going to try to talk to him. So I try to add him as a friend, and before I can even send him a message, I receive one. What we're about to read is probably one of my favorite interactions I've ever had on the internet. I talked to I am truly flattered, but I'll have to say no. It's a matter of honor. My current employers have been very good to me. I can't repay them with treason. I would be happy to work for you on other projects, but it can't be anything South Park related. Immediately, I am very confused. It sounds like he thought I wanted to hire him, but he's also talking like a samurai, talking about honor and treason. But I would also like you to...
Guys, sure, we're going to commit seppuku because someone's asking about South Park questions. We're only 30 minutes in. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Take note of the fact that he says current employers, because we will be coming back to that. Oh, no worries. I wasn't going to ask you to work for me. I prefer to write my own stuff anyways. I actually just had a few questions about the Karl Gartman channel, if you don't mind. What sort of questions? Well, I was just curious about the team you guys are running. It's amazing how fast you guys are capable of putting out quality content, and was thinking about starting a team of my own. Do you guys work for a company? You know I can't go into details on anything, right? Oh, no. I didn't know that. Why is that? Isn't it obvious? You are the competition. It would be painfully stupid of me to give you anything that can be used against us.
What in the world?
I'm sorry, what? Alright, well, that is certainly a way to respond.
When I was watching this video earlier today, I was like cracking up. You are my competition. It would be painfully foolish to give anything that can be used against us. As if they're... Well, that just makes me think that these guys know that AI content farming, like... I don't think it's, like, morally wrong, but I think it's like... Oh, maybe I do. It's like, it's not the right thing to do. Nothing about AI content creation strikes me as the right thing to do, and I feel like these guys know that. Is it against YouTube terms of service? Is that allowed? Oh, yes, you can monetize AI-generated videos on YouTube as long... Oh, okay. Well, yeah, YouTube's doing nothing apparently. Oh, yes, as long as you mark the content as AI. Okay, so that's where these guys are getting into trouble because they don't mark any of their stuff as AI. Got it. Got it.
Well, personally, I look at it as a community. I'm friends with a lot of people that make South Park videos, and we give each other tips all the time. It helps everyone improve their content. I didn't mean any disrespect, of course. I have no intentions of using anything against you. I'm not even really sure how I would use anything against you, LOL. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not the greatest actor. And I think in hindsight, me saying I'm not even really sure how I would use anything against you is basically the equivalent of Barry Bonds saying he wouldn't even know how to get steroids. But he responds anyways. I don't know what kind of tips I could possibly give you. You're the big dog of the space. We're just a bunch of upstarts. But no, we don't work for a company. We work for ourselves. We're just a bunch of guys. We've known each other for a long time. Some grew up together, worked on a couple projects, that kind of stuff. The company only got created after we started making some money on YouTube and an LLC became a more advantageous tax structure. So let's pause here and do a bit of a recap. First of all, him being so defensive to not want to share any details with me is probably the most suspicious response he could have given me. You see, I've talked to a few YouTubers, and when you talk to a YouTuber about what they do, they tend to be very enthusiastic about sharing information because they like...
I don't want to be this guy. The walls in my apartment building are pretty thin, and like I can just smell pot. I think my neighbors are like totally blazing it up right now. They've got to be. They're making like loud, weird noises. They're got to be blazing it up right now. They're reefer madnessing right now. I keep like checking my living room. Like, did one of them come into my room? But yeah, it smells like straight up fucking OG Kush out here. This is not fun. I don't like this.
Like to talk about what they do. I promise you, I have never messaged a YouTuber and gotten a response saying it would be foolish to tell me anything because I could use it against them, especially since I literally just asked if they work for a company. And also, responding in this overly defensive and rude manner is the last thing any YouTuber would do if the quote-unquote big dog of their niche reached out to them specifically. If Johnny Two Cellos had DM'd me when I was at like 1,000 subscribers and asked me questions like this, I would have told him fucking anything he wanted to hear, okay? I just would have been losing my mind over the fact that Johnny Two Cellos even knew I existed, let alone complimenting me. And also, what do you mean anything that could be used against us? Why would you say that unless there was something that could be used against you that you're hiding? And my favorite part of this, we're just a bunch of guys. We've known each other for a long time. Some grew up together, worked on a couple projects, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you're telling me that an editor from India just so happens to have been good friends with a random dude from Kenya who also happened to like writing scripts, and apparently also 3 other editors that are Indian and Pakistani, and some anonymous man with a perfect American accent to do narration for them. And if you remember, in the very first message he sent, he said, "My employers have been good to me." So which is it? Are you a group of friends or are you employed by someone? I know what the actual answer is. The answer is that he's employed by someone, but still. So then I respond, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I would have loved to have friends interested in making YouTube."
What I don't understand still is like, okay, so he obviously has employers. He says employers have been good to him. Like, I don't understand why keep up like this huge charade. Like, the worst thing that comes out is that it's like all AI generated, and like already Blooms has a compelling case just as it is, without any more like investigation. It's a pretty compelling case that like, this is AI. So like that's the worst thing that comes out, and like I don't know. I feel like most of the 65,000 or however many, how many people are subscribed to Sarah Cartman? 58,000. Okay, so like a bunch of people unsubbed. That's cool. But like a bunch of these 58,000 people don't even know what's going on, and they're just gonna keep watching. It's like the Mr. Beast thing. Like he's got like 300,000 or 300 million subscribers, and like with all this controversy, he's not losing like a shit ton of subscribers. Like your whole audience, like there are people who just scroll YouTube just to scroll YouTube and like watch videos. So like if it comes out that you're AI, you're not gonna make like fucking national news and everyone's gonna know, oh, you're AI, don't watch. Like, no, like I don't understand why try so hard and be so weird to keep the charade up, because when you do that, you give Blooms like just not, I don't want to say ammunition, but like more like crazy stuff to work with to make the Blooms video way more convincing. So I don't know, man. Like there's no reason to like keep this up. There's no reason to like be so weird about all this stuff, especially like with the videos already getting made. Already he's got a compelling enough case to say like these guys are AI and these guys are weird, so like be wary. Like anyone who's going to watch like this, yeah, like 7,000 subscribers lost. I think it was like 65. Hold on, what's the Social Blade? I don't know how accurate Social Blade is. Let's check OnlyJacks. How much do they think I make? $22 yearly earnings. Funny thing there. I've made almost $200. No, Sarah Cartman. There we go. How many, like, is there a net loss? Okay, so they're at 63,000. Now they're down to 58. So they're losing subs based off of this. But it's not crazy. D minus? What could I improve on, Social Blade?
Videos. I have an LLC too, so I get why you would do that. Sorry if it came across as accusatory or anything. You just said employers earlier, so I assumed that meant you were working for someone. LOL. It's no big deal either way. Do you do the narration for the videos as well, or is that someone else?
He just keeps on. Like, he just keeps pressing. I love that. He's like a police investigator in the true crimes I watch. Like, oh yeah, sorry, ha 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 ha. Like I'm not like asking questions for anything weird reason anyway. Ha ha ha. No weird questions. Also, here's another question. Like, I love that.
The dude from Kenya isn't doing the narration, but I just had to know. I'm telling you, I was obsessed with this narrator. I needed to figure out what was going on, and I wanted to see how he would respond. So how did he respond? It still feels like you're prying.
Because he is.
I'm sorry, what? Why is he acting like I'm asking for the password to his YouTube channel? These are the most normal questions ever. And he's acting like these are the most personal questions I could possibly be asking. So I try my best to reel it back a little bit.
I'm like 90 million% positive that obviously the whole team's like in contact with each other. And so he's got like the first guy that he's DMing on Twitter, and Blooms is asking like all these like, you know, pretty intimate questions about the team. And then he gets to the writer guy, and now he's asking pretty intimate questions about the team. It's like, yeah, like he's not doing a good job of like, oh no, I'm just asking questions for the sake of it. Like, no, I love you, Blooms, but you're not doing well here.
I say, sorry if it's coming across that way, genuinely. I'm just trying to understand how you guys operate because you make great videos. The person who does the narration is great, and if it was you, I wanted to let you know. Seriously though, if you don't want to share anything with me, that's totally cool. I respect your privacy 100%. Somehow this actually worked, and I got one final response from him. We're not too different from your channel. We built the whole thing around one guy. There's a small team to help with research, scripting, and editing, but that's about it. There are no big secrets. There are no big secrets. We made 5 videos to start, didn't upload the first.
If there are no big secrets, then why act so weird and sketchy about everything? That's what I don't understand. Like, the worst case scenario is that like a fraction of your audience finds out that you're AI and stops watching. But like, you can still build more of an audience. Like, there's nothing stopping you. The algorithm is obviously still pumping out your shit. I got into it. Like, you can still grow, and like even if you're a content farm, the rules as they are now, I should say, let you do this and grow off of it. So I don't understand what the problem is. Like, I don't know why you're being so sketchy, Sarah Cartman.
First one until 5th one was complete. They popped off. This allowed us to do YouTube full-time instead of part-time like we'd been planning. That's the reason for the quick turnaround. We just work full-time. And luckily I got that screenshot like the moment he said that, because he also edited his response like a second later to say, this bit of luck early on allowed us to do YouTube full-time instead of part-time like we'd been planning. I don't know why he felt the need to add that, but yeah. So this is by far my favorite response out of the entire...
Hey!
My favorite...
Thank you for the Only Pride. Thank you for the Only Jacks fan club for another month.
Line being, there are no big secrets. I never said there were any big secrets. I never made anything to accuse him of having any kind of secrets. If this conversation was with someone that had no secrets, this was not suspicious at all. I did not ask a single question that I would deem as suspicious. I've asked other YouTubers these questions just out of curiosity. But my God, I literally don't think you could have scripted a more hilariously suspicious response than everything he said in this interaction. You may also notice that he totally avoided the question about the narrator, didn't even respond to that at all, and that's because there is no narrator. It's not a real person. It doesn't exist. It's a computer.
I'm convinced. Yeah, it's got to be
here's
AI.
What I think happened in this interaction. I think the first couple of messages he sent were actually his responses, but once I started actually asking questions, he definitely just reached out to whoever's actually in charge, and that person started writing responses for him, hence the change from employers to a group of friends. So at this point, I could tell that they were on to me. Obviously, they knew what I was doing. They knew I was asking them questions to try to get some information out of them, and they didn't like it. So I figured I would try one last time with the editor to see if word had gotten to him yet to basically not answer any of my questions. So I asked him again how he got hired, and his response was, "You're asking lots of strange questions, brother. What's going on?"
They're all in cahoots. You're asking lots of strange questions, outsider. You might want to talk to the guy in the back. Gets American History X'd.
I didn't think it was that strange of a question. I was just wondering, since you reached out to me initially, if that's the same way you got the job working for Karl Artman. My bad. Like I said, if you don't feel comfortable answering, that's fine. Nothing to do with comfortability. I'm not sure where this combo is heading. You seem more interested in the channel, not in what I'm offering you. Let me know if you need anything else. And with that, I had officially burned all the bridges I had with the Karl Artman channel, and now it was basically guaranteed that I had no way to communicate with them. But one thing I did have is this dude's Discord ID. And it just so happened that this Discord ID sure looked a lot like a first and last name. Not only that, a very distinct first and last name. So I immediately plugged it into...
Also, can you stop saying Discord ID? It's Discord handle. What are we, like fucking 2003 MySpace? Come on. Bro, for real loves his girlfriend. That ain't gay. That's true. That's true. That's true. I do a lot of gay shit, but definitely not when it comes to how much I love my girlfriend. Speaking of gay shit, have you guys seen the Destiny leaks? Oh, they're so bad. Oh, those are so fucking funny.
To Google, and this is what I found. Man, what a weird coincidence. Someone with the exact same name as this guy is on Fiverr, offering to write an original and funny script for any topic. And he's completely paused his services since around the time the Karl Artman channel started. And he's from Kenya. Wow, what a weird coincidence. So if it wasn't already obvious, this is not a group of friends. This is a bunch of dudes who were hired by either a person or a company at incredibly low wages with the sole purpose of making a lot of money for that person. Now at this point, I had exhausted pretty much every single lead that I had. I typed everything into Google a million times. I've been through every page.
What interests me most about this is, yeah, it seems like a bunch of people just cobbled together from Fiverr, but like, who's the mastermind at the center of all this? Like, who's the Nick Fury of this shit? That's what I want to know. I don't think he finds out, but that's what I want to know. And yeah, sure, go for it, Kadoda.
I looked through everyone's LinkedIn pages, everything you could imagine. But at this point, I had gathered a ton of really good evidence that proved most of my theories correct. But I still didn't know if I was going to make a video. I kind of felt bad for these guys. And I don't mean whoever's at the top hiring all these people. I mean the people that are being hired. These people are working for probably pennies, and it's hard for me to hate on them when they're just trying to get by. I decided I was just going to take a break from all this for a while. This had been taking up so much time in my life, especially since we had pretty much found anything that we could find. It didn't feel like there was anything left to discover. So I'm just going to take a long break, and whenever I come back, then I'll decide what I'm going to do. This break lasted one day, because the very next day, the day after speaking to this man in DMs, this was posted on the Carrick Artman community page. Lately, I've been getting some interesting messages from a few of you loyal subscribers. Apparently, my channel was mentioned on a website that sells YouTube niches to people looking to get into YouTube for money. I wasn't aware those sites were such a big deal, but it seemed to be quite popular. Basically the equivalent of Barry Bonds saying he wouldn't even know how to get steroids. They even included a detailed analysis on how anyone can copy my titles, they're not magic, thumbnails, also not magic, and script style, a little magical. Honestly, I take that as a big compliment. It's a testament to the immense support from all of you for enjoying my content and helping this channel grow. Now, I'm not here to gatekeep my content or any content on YouTube.
All of this right now not only validates everything Blooms has been saying, but like, these guys go on. I do not understand. I do not understand. I do not read him. Do not read him. I do not understand. Like, why the fuck is there so much effort to like hide that they're just like an AI content farm? Again, why does the Nick Fury of this India Pakistan group, which is weird that they would, I thought those guys hated each other, but why does the Nick Fury of the Middle Eastern YouTube AI Avengers so hell bent on keeping it a secret that they're an AI content farm? Not everyone is looking at that. Not everyone cares. I would argue most people don't. Like, you're making yourself look more weird. Why try to get ahead of it this bad? I don't know. It's so weird to me.
Everyone in the content creation space takes inspiration from one another. Same goes for me. Think I don't watch Bloom's videos or Johnny Two Cello's? I love them. Hopefully they watch mine as well sometimes. Oh, we do. More than you would think. In the end, it's all about delivery. This does mean that there might be more competition on the horizon.
And why do they keep bringing up competition? It's not like that. Like, I watch several YouTubers. I watch Blooms. I've seen some Johnny Two Feathers. Like, I will say, when it comes to like cartoon analysis, I'm really only watching people who, one, I feel like I agree with like their personalities, right? I'm gonna be honest. I like to keep myself in my own echo chamber, right? Blooms has a similar, I would imagine, like personality, sense of humor to my own. And so I like watching his stuff. Johnny Two Cello's less so. But like, all the content is content, right? So it's not like if Blooms gets one of my views, then Sarek Artman doesn't. Because again, I've seen this before I realized he was AI. I've seen his videos. He was one of the regulars in my rotation when I was driving around listening to video essays. So I don't understand what they mean by competition. They like fundamentally don't understand how YouTube works. One channel getting views doesn't mean that your channel isn't getting views. Like, you don't show up, watch one YouTube video, then fucking leave. Like, I do not understand. Ugh, whatever. Like, I don't like. If you're gonna be a lazy AI content farm, like, you're at least be like kind of smart about it. Like, you have to be a real dumbass to like try to get ahead of all this, and you're making the case worse for yourself. Like, I hate it. I just want everyone to succeed, even if what they're doing is weird. No, that's not exactly true. Like, but this is like I think AI stuff is overall bad for the platform, and over time it'll get weeded out. And the people who are doing the real quality stuff are, it seems like over time they get rewarded for it. But like, this isn't that big of a deal, bro. Like in the DMs, the Discord DMs, this community posts, they're making it much big of a deal, and then they're making way bigger enemies than they would have if they just would have like ignored and fucking continued on. I don't know.
Which is also a good thing. You are the competition. It would be painfully stupid of me to give you anything that can be used against us. It pushes
that, but that is a thing about these AI content farms. They don't seem to realize that when the tide comes in, when the tide goes higher, all of the boats come with it, right? So if YouTube is doing well, then by proxy, everyone is doing well. If Blooms is doing well and the South Park cartoon analysis niche is doing well, then everyone in that niche is also doing well. Because here's how it works. If Blooms is doing well and a lot of people are watching Blooms' content, YouTube is going to be like, who else is making content like this? Sarek Artman. And you'll get recommended. I don't know.
All of us to step up our game, and if it leads to more quality content out there for you to enjoy and for me to take inspiration from, then I'm all here for it. And we give each other tips all the time. It helps everyone improve their content. That said, I believe the best content comes from passion and a genuine love for what you're doing, not just chasing a quick buck. Making these videos takes time, effort, and a lot of research. So if I see or you see other creators tackling similar topics in the future, I think it's important to remember that. Sometimes I might be working on a subject for a while, only for another channel to release a video on it before I do. That could make it look like I'm copying others, but rest assured, if that happens, it's not because I'm trying to copy anyone. It's just part of the creative process. I've experienced this once before, where there was some backlash because I posted a video a few hours after another YouTuber on a similar topic, hence this community post. Don't want to disappoint you, I want to be transparent. Things like this can happen, and it could easily go the other way around too. I never want to spend my time tearing down others.
If this is just like such a brutal, like pre-damage control shit at Blooms, oh man, this makes me mad on his behalf.
I'd rather use that energy to make even better content for you all, like I mentioned in my previous community post. So, to anyone looking to jump into this niche, you are more than welcome. Just please aim to bring something original to this table instead of doing a one-to-one copy of what others are already doing. We can all thrive together if we push each other to be creative. And hey, if you're interested in collaborating, partnering, or just have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again for all the love and support. See you in the next video, which will be uploaded tomorrow. Hopefully. Carrick. You know, I don't think I have ever read anything in my entire life
Bro's crashing out
that made me as angry as this
Bro's
post
crashing
did.
out.
This post is quite possibly the biggest fuck you I have ever seen in my entire life. The absolute gall of these people to create this post knowing I have the information that I have, to morally grandstand about their passion and their, oh, I don't want to spread negativity, I just want to fuck you, to use my own words that I literally spoke to them the night before about the importance of having a community and how it makes all of our content better. The gall to use that in this statement, which they are preemptively putting out to protect themselves for when this video inevitably comes out. The best content comes from passion and a genuine love for what you're doing. You know what? That's true. That's why your content is fucking garbage. That's why you make terrible content, because you have no passion. You're a soulless team of people. So to anyone looking to jump into this niche, you are more than welcome. Just please aim to bring something original to the table instead of doing a one-to-one copy of what others are already doing. Oh my god. Thank you, Carrick. Thank you, Carrick Artman, for giving me permission to make videos about South Park. And you're so right. I need to be original. I need to not steal. I need to not use AI. I need to have a real fucking narrator. I wish I could meet the person that wrote this. I'm not going to do anything. I would just want to look at them in the eyes. I would want to see what's going on in your eyes. You know what? It probably wasn't even a person. It was probably fucking ChatGPT that wrote this. Let's be... Okay, I am composing myself. I apologize. Now I believe...
Epic Blooms crash out. Epic crash out, guys.
believe there were a few reasons for this post. Number one, to disassociate themselves from the other channels that are clearly them, such as Somer Himson. Because by putting up this bullshit about someone making a course on how to copy them or whatever. They can just say, oh, well, that's not us. That's just someone that copied us. Unfortunately for them, we have evidence that it is them, so they won't be able to do that. Number two, this is to distance themselves from anyone that is actually copying them, but who isn't as good at hiding the AI, so they don't get lumped in with all these other channels. And the funniest part is this is working because I've seen comments on a bunch of these other copycat channels calling these channels out for using AI while praising Karl Artman in the exact same breath.
This is literally just like the three Spider-Mans just like pointing at each other like, whoa, like they're all the same shit.
I'm not kidding. Number three, and perhaps most malicious of all, is to protect themselves against our investigation. They're trying to get out in front of it. They're trying to name drop me and Johnny and act like a fan of us, saying, oh, I'd never want to spend my time tearing down others. All of this is because they know that we're onto them and they can defend themselves by claiming innocence. Oh, we're just a small channel who wanted to make videos and spread positivity, all that bullshit. But I think they severely underestimate the extent to which we've been digging and the scale of this operation. This post is what finally convinced me to make this video. Preaching about passion and not doing it for money. It's sickening coming from these losers who are gaming the system to make as much money as possible in the most unethical, scummy ways possible, and also stealing my words to promote the idea they were so against in private. It makes my blood boil. Which is why we're doing this. I refuse to be complicit in this anymore. For a very long time, I didn't want to make the video because I didn't want to get in drama. I didn't want this to be a whole thing. But I realize I have a responsibility at this point as someone who cares a lot about this community to do whatever I can to prevent this from continuing in the way that it is. This sort of thing is not only severely damaging communities, it is damaging YouTube as a whole. I'm only going to talk about this briefly because this is a massive rabbit hole in itself, but if you look into YouTube automation, this is an entire world of hundreds of thousands of channels that are all doing this exact thing. They are started as an investment opportunity by someone who hires writers and editors from poor countries willing to work for extremely cheap, who then use ChatGPT, AI narration, and even AI images and video for everything related to the video. The people at the top can literally run dozens of these channels at a time. The editor mentioned that the team ran multiple channels, and this was before any of the other cartoon channels popped up. So these are clearly people who are very experienced in this, and everything we've learned suspected about the Karl Artman channel lines up with this perfectly. Here's a document I found by signing up for a course that was just free online about YouTube automation. It gives all of the tips you need to do this and how you can use AI literally every single step of the way. Their entire YouTube channel.
It is so tempting to just do that. I have like a moral qualm with this just because like I'm like legitimately afraid of like AI taking over and doing horrible things to us human beings. And I think one of the biggest things that AI does like right now, it's like the gaslighting, the AI gaslighting has already begun. It's already super hard. Like when the AI is good, it's already super hard to discern what's real and what's fake. Again, like I had been watching Karl Artman having no fucking idea that it was AI and, you know, this kind of like YouTube automated thing. And so like, it's always tempting because like, yeah, you could put like 2 hours of work in a day and do one of these YouTube automated channels, get monetized, do the whole deal for way less effort than it is to do it the legit way. But like, man, like it's a dark time in the internet where this is because this has become a problem. And I don't know how we fix it. I don't know how we detect it. I don't know how we get ahead of it without like, you know, like YouTube company oversight. Like, I don't know, but it is scary to think about. And good on Blooms for making this video. Honestly, good on him, because I think the only thing you really can do is draw attention to it when you find this stuff out. Like I've been saying this whole video, you're not going to like stop the massive audience that they've built and that they're going to continue to build. But for the people who are vigilant and don't want to be consuming this stuff, drawing attention to it is kind of the best thing you can do. So good on Blooms.
channels dedicated to explaining how to do this as well. Here is a list of over 14,000 ChatGPT prompts for different niches. Again, this was free access online. And here's an example of one of their templates that they have for a horror compilation channel. Speaking of template, that editor happened to mention Johnny Two Cellos and seemed to say a little more than he was supposed to when he mentioned that they have a template master document that they use to write all of the videos. If I had to guess, it probably looks something like this. If I'm being honest, the only positive from the situation is that it seems like people are starting to catch on a little bit more. It seems like people are starting to realize that this upload schedule is impossible, and it's freaking them out a little bit considering Johnny happened to catch them changing their bio a few different times. Like I said, it was originally worded as if it was one person, but they changed it to say a team of 3 friends posting weekly South Park video essays, and then they changed it again to say a team of creators posting weekly South Park video essays. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned the fact that literally nothing Karl Artman has done is original. In fact, his character, his little avatar, the one thing that I figured was original from this channel, is stolen. Armchair Analysis, a small YouTuber who is an actual real person, was using the exact same avatar a month before Karl Artman started uploading. If you don't believe me, just look at the hairline. It's exactly the same.
That's
now,
crazy.
I'm pretty sure that Armchair Analysis created his using the South Park avatar creator from South Park Studios, but I don't think that's what Karl Artman did because the hair is different. The hairline is the same, but it's like they just painted over it. Why would he do that if he wasn't stealing it? Oh yeah, he also stole his title format from the channel Lavender Coffee, who has had several videos with the exact same format. Now, obviously, this isn't the most original format ever, but they 100% saw these videos and just took the title format. So, with that, that is pretty much all of the evidence that we have gathered against Karl Artman. So that completes our investigation. So obviously, I don't think I need to tell you what my opinion is on this whole situation. I think I made that very clear. But now, finally, I will pass it to my friends that helped me make this video so you can hear what they have to say about it.
What is up, friends? It's Johnny.
Yeah,
Thank you
so
all for meeting me here. Let's talk about this Sarek.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video. The other creators just come to say how much they hate Karl Artman. But like, what? How crazy is this? Were any of you guys duped into believing this AI creator stuff? Like, I don't know, man. Any of you guys, I should say. It's probably just Kododo still watching, but yeah, I don't know, man. Crazy stuff. And I don't even know why I'm like on my high horse here. Like, I'm gonna edit this down as a reaction video. So I am part of the problem, but not AI. This stuff I added, you know, however many. This stream is 2 hours long. The video was 48 hours long. So I've added something, but it's not AI. Yeah, maybe I'm the problem. The only hope, like Bloom said, is that people draw attention to this stuff, and you're not gonna save every person from the AI content horror. But anyone who's vigilant and takes the time to make sure that they're watching real stuff that isn't just manja, and apparently I'm not doing as good of a job as I thought I was, because again, I was duped by Karl Artman. But yeah, man, crazy stuff. I hope there's some sort of solution found. I don't know what the solution would be, but well, with that, I've been Only Jax, and don't watch AI stuff.